Okay, welcome back to Paigeforge. So I'm going to do just a really quick video on doing edits for formatting purposes specifically. So this is an imported in project that I was working on somewhere else. I think this was actually a really old NAN test that I did, but it has some text messages within the book. Now we can look for those text messages a couple different ways. So there isn't a find in Paigeforge. I think I'm actually going to add that feature when I do the video showing you how you can alter Paigeforge to your liking. So I don't want to add it off screen here because I do actually want to save that for a video because I don't have like a whole bunch of features to go over with that. So I think I'm going to save it. But there's a couple ways to do this. So there is actually a search in VS Code. Now it will search non-chapter files, which is something that you need to keep in mind of, because I don't think that there's like a way to, let's find out actually. Open and search, refresh, view as a tree, collapse. So yeah, I don't think there is a way to like limit to a folder. I've never actually tried. So now this is why I'm like, is there find in folder. Okay, so if you go to this guy, this is your file explorer. So this actually just shows you the actual files that Paigeforge is then rendering for you in a pretty view. So everything is broken into books or series. And you can see here, I have two standalones, which are just in the books, versus series also has a books. And then that shows the individual books in the series. And it also has a folder for each series. So depending on what you're looking for. So if I'm in KLS and I right click on my mouse and find in folder, now I can only do that. So that we just learned something together, you guys. So this shows me which chapters have a text message, because I just put in text MES. So this shows that exact phrase shows up in chapter 3, chapter 5, and chapter 7. And this is the naming convention, as 030 is chapter 3. 130 would actually be chapter 13. And it's just a naming convention that the AI chose and really liked for being able to easily read and differentiate the chapters cleanly. And so that is why the naming convention is that. So 3, 5, and 7. So if I'm in KLS, which I am, and I actually pulled this out, I can go to chapter 3, chapter 5, or chapter 7. Now, if I click on this, it will open that file, but it will open it in the same tab that Paigeforge is in. And let's actually see, can I reveal and explore, exclude? Okay, so if I just click this, if I just click the example, well, this is already open, so that was a bad example. Well, oh wait, but maybe, okay, so see, we're learning together, you guys, just learning together. So I'm just gonna make this smaller just so that I can get my little closeout X. So if I just click now, it will go to the main pane, which we don't want. So if I'm in chapter 3, so I'm going to navigate to my book, I'm going to navigate to the first chapter I need, which is chapter 3, and I'm going to click open Markdown beside this. So now I've got Markdown beside this. And now if I go through chapter 5 and chapter 7, I don't need to worry about that. So I'm going to click this and it goes right here. Now it's not going to navigate over here. So if I wanted to navigate over here, I can tell this is the very end of the chapter. And so here it is. Now I could grab this and do a highlight. I could do a highlight, which would kind of flow into rewrite territory or AI review. But because I'm like specifically like I need this little section and I can find it this way, I'm going to highlight this guy right here. And I'm going to talk to Claude and I'm going to say, this is a paragraph with a text message in it. Can you rewrite and use the Paigeforge formatting to have the text message show in preview? Let's just see if it knows what we're even talking about with that, because I think check the getting started. I don't know. Let's just see if it knows what that is. Oh, and I of course have this on Opus, which I would have this on Sonnet, if not Haiku, for something like this. FYI. Okay, so yeah, it's going to go through and it's going to see how to set up. Again, I would have a much cheaper model doing this. I would not have Opus doing little things like this, but I forgot to change the model. And boom! Wonderful. Great. And then because this was already like setting this up, actually, let me just switch model to Haiku. There we go. And then, so if I click now with 5, before he can answer, my phone buzzes. Derek's name on my screen. Okay. So I'm just going to grab this. And I think that that's the only one. Can you do the same rewrite here, please? And it gives it context of those lines. Yes. I think when I made a change, it switched off of it automatically. Okay. And then here, third call goes to voicemail, text message shows immediately. Okay. And is there any others? No. And lastly, this one, please. And this is what I would do, by the way, is I would just go through, I would scan the entire manuscript, provided like this was something that like maybe I was bringing into Paigeforge so that it would then export cleanly into Vellum. And this was like my last step or mid step in doing edits. Then I would just have it and see how quick Haiku is. Lovely. And Haiku is great for like little bitty bits like this. Makes it very easy. And it like names it properly and all of that jazz. So I would go through and I would probably scan because not necessarily everyone, you know, is easily found like this way. And then you can just double click on any of these icons to make that go away. But I would go through and I would like find every instance of that type of edit and I would have it go through that. And actually talking about like changes to make, in addition to having a find, I think I'm also going to do a add to the highlights that this needs to become a this needs to become a text message or a written note. I think we're going to add that probably so that we have something easy to use in that regard. So I think that that's probably something that we're going to add in that same video going over how to modify Paigeforge, just because like I was thinking about that. If we are doing a lot of imports, having a quick highlight for marking your text messages as you're going through like doing other edits would be a lot easier. So I think I'm probably gonna do that and then have it like say like find all of the tags that are marked this and you know do a formatting rewrite. But Haiku is perfectly capable for doing like reformatting and like things like that. So you don't need to worry about having something like Opus do that. Like if you wanted to wrap it into like make all of the changes necessary in this entire chapter via the tags, that's a little bit different. But if you're just like going through with like little things like Haiku would be totally fine for that. Okay, I will see you in the next one.